Hey, what's up, guys? This is me. Um, I'm making a deck profile of, I don't know what this deck can call it. I'm calling it Dark Arm Diva because it runs numerous amounts of dark monsters, and it also runs, of course, DC Diva. This deck has been doing. I've been working with this deck for a couple weeks now, and I feel like I'm ready to show it off. The deck has went through locals. It went through a lot of changes. I just made like a final change, like just maybe like 10 minutes ago. And I want to, hope you guys leave a comment about how the deck runs and stuff like that and how it looks. Or what you think maybe needed or needed out. But this is my version of the deck and it works really well to how my playing style fits. Okay, the deck works with 3 DC Divas and the Lost Blue Breaker. Pretty much you summon a DC Diva. You have two options. You either can go for an DC Diva, you go into first turn Gachi, usually what the main thing does. Or you can go, if you go second, let's say, and your opponent has like maybe set one card as a monster and they set another one for back row. Usually be like a Solemn Warning or Solemn Judgment. I go DC Diva into a Lost Blue Breaker, tribute to activate his effect to destroy that back row, and they 9 times in 10 they won't Solemn the Diva. They ready to come out for the Synchro, and then drop other cards after that. So Lost Blue Wreck is really good for destroying back row. That's like really hard to do. It's like a great MST, a monster MST. Okay. Next is Stratos, and this is pretty much what he searches for. I run one Stratos, one Diamond Dude, and 2 Malicious. I run 2 Thunder Kings. Thunder Kings are really good cards. And also for the Diamond Dude and the Malicious, the deck, well, for Diva, basically the main idea for the deck. Pretty much, Malicious is a 6 star monster. I'm abusing and using his levels a lot. I'm gonna abuse Malicious in this deck. The main idea for this deck is to get out high, try to play with high rank exceeds. For right now, I'm only running with one to see how that works with. But pretty much since he's a rank 6, so that the deck runs with well with rank 6 monsters or level 6 monsters, and you will see that with the deck profile. So 2 Thunder Kings, great first turns for the deck. It stops a lot of first turn search, synchros, stuff like that. XYZs, just a really good card. Everybody know about Thunder King. I run Plague Spreader, and I also run Elite. Really great dark targets to have in the graveyard. Of course, with Plague Spreader with Malicious, you can stack for him, whatever, and go for a Stardust, Scrap Dragon, whatever. And Elite is really good with a lot of boss cards that I have in my deck, and is also great with DC Diva because I can summon DC Diva for another DC Diva, bounce one of the DC Divas, and go 6. And that's Brionic or whatnot. Really great combo card. I also run Sangan, Birdman, and I run Grandmo now. I put in Grandmo tonight because he stops a lot of Zemains, a lot of exceeding decks that relies on a lot of extra deck cards. Like even gets heroes, like he can bounce back to Shining, and the Shining would not get the 2 monsters that he banished to get the 2 cards that's using like Alias and Stratos. So Grandmo is really great for putting pressure on your opponent, especially if you have like a BLS on the field and pretty much the only thing your opponent can really do is start setting cards. Grandmo is a great punisher because it just forces your opponent to be like, wow, I just want to go ahead and scoop because I can't do anything. Sangan, just a basically good card. I don't have Tour Guides for this deck yet, but this deck will really run well with Tour Guides. For right now, I'm running without it. And with Birdman, same way with Elite, except for he's a little bit way more versatile since he's a rank 3. He's great for rank, XYZ and for rank 3 monsters. As far as numbers on DC Diva go, Breaker, Bounce Back Diva, and you can XYZ for a rank 3, which is like probably first turn Zemains or whatever. And he also has great other combo potential in his deck too. Once you'll see once in the extra deck, and you'll see it. He's also really good with malicious. Pretty much for the hand traps, I run 3 Veilers and I run 2 Maxis. In the beginning, I only ran 2 Veilers and I side decked the third one. And for Maxi, I had only 1 and I side decked 2. But for the way the deck's been running, Veilers are really good. I want to always have a Veiler in hand. Because Veiler, since I personally, in my playing style, I run really no back row, no stop power. Veilers are really needed to help me control the field. You know, kind of cramp up my opponent for doing a lot of big plays. It's so able for Maxis. Helps me with, you know, big hands. Personally, I think Maxi is only really good for in a deck if you're running hand trap cards. Like as far as Gores, Trag, you know, Veiler, stuff like that that you can draw into that you can activate on your opponent's turn. Or unless you're running really good back row and he's really good, you know, you can play like your opponent special summons a lot of monsters, like in 6Ms, you can Trento and still get the plus. You know, that's how I feel like Maxi should be used. I run. These are kind of like my high level boss monsters. I run a BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, Dark Arm, Gores, and Trag. Trag and Gores being the hand traps bosses in the deck. Really great cards. Trag is so good that he helps me rank C. He can exceed Synchro, take monsters. He just does a lot. He can come out as like a first turn beat stick, and I can just keep pounding up cards until, you know, Maxi helps him get stronger. He's just such a really good card. I don't even know why they put him at 2, but in this deck I only run 1 because I feel like that's all I need is 1. One time Trag is 1 time too good. Dark Arm, of course, I run a lot of darks. He's great. Boss monster come out of nowhere, banish. A lot of this deck worked really well with banish cards. Same way with BLS and Chaos Sorcerer. When I, you know, pay their costs, I can reuse their costs to come, you know, make really great plays. So yeah, that's it for that. Alright, and for as the spells, 2 dualities. I had 3 dualities until I started bringing more special summon monsters in. So I just say, since I don't want duality to hold me back. Sometimes you may start out with 2 dualities. When I have, you know, I used to play 3, and I would start out with like Diva, and I was like, do I go ahead and duality, or do I go ahead and just play DC Diva and Gachi? So I'd rather have 2 dualities so that play won't happen so much, and maybe I can play Thunder King, you know, into a duality, you know, whatever, which means better. But I don't want duality too much, so 2 is fine. Mind Control, God card is just it speaks for itself. You could take your opponent's monsters, abuse it. You could take their face downs, just play around with it. Everybody know what Mind Control does. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and drop 3Ds right here. Mirror Confusion, I only run 1. It used to be 2 when I ran more water monsters. I used to main Snowman Eater. Now I side deck them. But Mirror Confusion is pretty much, it gives out my 0. It helps me with the heroes of the deck and the water monsters to combo into a 0. Really great. It's a power smiles opponents because they don't really see this card coming. They don't expect to see 0, you know, or fusion monsters in this deck. So Mirror Confusion is really good. I put it down to, you know, the 1. But it still kick butt at 2. But 1 I put in this deck because of lack of space and a lack of targets in the deck. And I just added DDR, which is a really great card. I decided to put this card in because my deck does a lot of remove from playing, and it's just extremely good. I made a combo one time by dropping a Strike Bouncer by fully barreling a Malicious, activating its effect, it banished Specimen Malicious, and I DDR into the other Malicious to go 6. Such a great card. Love it. Brings back my Sangan, brings back a lot of great cards. Just 1 Destiny draw. It used to be 2 when I ran more Destiny heroes, but now since I run only 3 targets, I think 1 is fine to help to get the malicious out the hand. I have many other ways I can get malicious out the hand, so I'll run 1 just in case I just want to just, if I draw into it, so I can search up for malicious and then draw 2 off of it. But only 1. 2 is, I think it's 2 dead. Allure and Foolish. No need to be said here. Helps you get out, BLS if you don't have a light target, or you can discard any of the graveyard type monsters and go into a combo. Same thing with Allure. Allure is a great card with DDR again because you can banish this hand again, or you can special summon it back off with DDR. You can do a lot of stuff with this card. This card is just amazing for darks. And pretty much the spell staples. You got the 2 MSTs, the Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and you got the Dark Hole, self-explanatory. And for my soul card, the only trap I run in the deck is Trap-His Trap Hole. This card is so freaking amazing. It's so broke. It's so versatile. I love it. It catches my opponents off surprise. This is such a really good card because it tricks people into game 2 and 3 that, oh, he doesn't run traps, so they're gonna take out the MSTs and whatever, and then I side deck into traps as far as rare decrees, stuff like that, and it locks down cards, so they don't MST game 2 and 3, and that rare decree is just like, hey, I'm here, it's doing its job. So that's it for my main. Alright, and what I have for the extra deck is, of course, 1-0. For the XYZ, I have a Utopia, Gachi, Maestro, which is a super great card. He is like my new staple for rank 4s as far as Utopia. He is a safer version for Utopia. I go Utopia when I know I'm going to like heavy decks, like maybe like Sam's that attacks a lot, or I need to negate certain attacks. As far as I'm trying to see, Glass. Glass is a perfect example. I'd rather go Utopia and Glass, but in any other version, I would love to go Maestro, because Maestro is just extremely good. He's a Book of Moon, and he kind of acts like a Zen main. He can protect himself from being destroyed, so he's really good. I love him. He wins me a lot of duel. Levier, Photon Strike Bouncer, Zen mains, and Utopia Ray. Now, the thing about Utopia Ray is that I actually won my very first duel using him in my side deck or my extra deck is because my opponent went Utopia, and I mind controlled his Utopia and went Utopia Ray and swung for game, which I feel like that's the only remaining reason to use Utopia Ray. Or if you use your Utopia all his negates, you can overlay Utopia, and he's an actual monster. He can't be selected as attack target, and he'll just blow up. So Utopia Ray is one of my great cards in the XYZ. Now, as far as synchros, I have Brionic, Locomotive, Black Rose, Catastrophe, Dark End Dragon, Stardust, and Scrap Dragon. Locomotive is such a good card. I actually won against Lightsworns by taking a JD. The deck is really mainly controlled where I want to say, like, I want to take control of the JD so I can do it. It doesn't take 2 turns to do it. I can drop Locomotive right then and there whenever I need it, and it shocks people. Such a great card. It's just like a change of heart, a permanent change of heart, which it's so good. I take Gores, I take a lot of cards. It's so really freaking good. Brionic is, of course, is a main staple for 6. Black Rose main staple for 7. Catastrophe main staple for 5. Dark End Dragon, of course, with Malicious being a non-tuner dark, and I can synchro with Diva or Plex Runner, and he's really good for cards that can't be destroyed as easily. As far as Zen mains, Spear Reaper, and stuff like that, just send to the graveyard. Or if I don't really, if I know if it's a Raikou set, I can go into him, and he would destroy my Raikou for me without any monster effects. He's really good for surprises and stuff like that. And I actually swung for game with him one time, removing a BLS, and swinging for the remaining like 17. Great card, Stardust, of course, staple. Just in case I have like my opponent has an open field, I'm really fearing the Dark Hole. Stardust is always great for me. And Scrap Dragon, of course, another staple as far as level 8. Helps you pop up other cards, or maybe I can pop up a Sengen, or I have a Gachi Gachi or Maestro or anything like that. I can target them and they won't die, and I can destroy a card on my opponent's card. Pretty much almost kind of like free, but you know, scrapjacking, and his attack power is amazing. Very much needed. Okay, that's my deck. Hope you guys can subscribe to me. I am working on that. I will do more deck profiles, or maybe start doing like legit combos, or maybe talk about cards and stuff like that. But yeah, hope you guys can leave comments below and tell me how my deck runs, how it, what I need to take out, how you feel about the deck, if it's a really good deck. And I'm trying to make it really playable for the format, and I feel like it's good. I feel like my style is trap as trap hole, and really no traps. I do that for most of my decks. That's kind of like my soul card for the deck. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.